Welcome to a Drop Tent Media Production.
The Porcupine with Adam Nutter.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first official episode of The Porcupine. I am your host, Adam Nutter. What is up? Real quick plug for myself. April 8th in Egg Harbor Township in Azim's Restaurant. I will be doing stand-up there. Tickets are available. Go get them now while you can. But that aside, I am very, very honored again for my first episode, for my first guest to be my good friend, Mr. Larry Sharpe from the Sharpe Way podcast. Thank you, sir, for coming on once again.
I am happy to be here, my friend. I appreciate it. We've kind of been on each other's shows a couple times, but now I get to be on your cool solo show. I like that.
Show. I know. We can tell Neil to go fuck himself. He's right over there. We could be like, yeah.
That's right. Hell with that guy.
Yeah. No, but again, thank you for having me. And this is so a lot happened since. So very honestly, we recorded an episode of this already. Audio didn't come out great, so this is our redo episode. And a lot happened since literally last week. We had a shooting in Colorado that was unfortunate. Biden is having his first press conference as we record this episode. There's a lot happening that again since last time we spoke, but. We'll get to all that. I do want to again talk about your state right now. Again, New York, a place you ran for governor in 2018.
I did, 2018. It is a disaster now.
Disaster.
I mean, it still is. Our economy is shot. Our people are angry. Our governor is killing old people. Our governor is now He's killing the old and harassing the young. I mean, that guy is not playing games.
He's just
got them all.
Fucking up at all ends of the.
But we are trying now. Where it looks like we might this time after 5 years, whatever it is, we might actually follow New Jersey and try somehow to legalize cannabis. That might actually happen.
Yeah, now it's medically legal there, because I know some friends of mine from back.
Not really, though. I mean, it is, but it's not, right? I mean, they make it so hard to get.
Okay.
They make it so expensive that people who actually need it just get in the black market anyway. There's literally an app in New York City that you press and a guy with a bike comes by and gives you weed. I mean, so why would you go get it?
That's like Half Baked. That's like the original Half Baked plot.
Yes,
Mr. Smiley.
That's real. Right? That's a real thing now.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, because I know like 2 or 3 people back in New York who have medical cards, and I didn't realize it was because they didn't say it was hard to get. Because in PA, where I live now, it was pretty easy. Like I just walked in, I was like, I have brain trauma, and they're like, all right. Which I do. So I wasn't lying, but it was like that. I just showed them my paperwork, and that was it. They were like, approved, stamp, and I was on my way. So in New York, it's like there's like a lot of loops, a lot of doctors. I'm assuming.
No. What it means is there aren't that many dispensaries. So they get a card, and then there's like 1 or 2 dispensaries in their area if they're lucky, if there's even one in their area. I think New York City only has 2 dispensaries in the entire city.
What?
It's something like that. It's very low. I don't know. Maybe it's not 2, but it's very low.
Out of all 5 boroughs, there's only 2.
It's very low.
Holy.
So it's something like that. There should be like 1,000, right? I mean, there should be a lot. It's it's less than 5.
Okay, so I'll throw a little PA knowledge on you for the weed stuff out here. So we have a problem with so I live in Newtown, Bucks County. There's nothing in Newtown because they're trying to veto it because it's wholesome. It's it's shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. So there's nothing by me. So I have to go to 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from me. It's still Bucks County, but the other problem is, so that's one problem. The second problem is that PA is very stingy with giving out grow licenses.
Yes.
Not even dispensary licenses, just the grow licenses. So what you have is this problem that we're seeing. The problem you're seeing is it costs, I think, $50,000 just to apply.
Of course.
And now here's the catch on that too. That doesn't guarantee you a license. You still might not get it. That's just the state going, thanks for $50,000. This means nothing though. Just so you know. Now, if we approve you, I think it's another 150 or 500 or something like a crazy number.
They create that always to ensure that they'll tell you it's safety. That's what licensing is always supposedly about. But licensing is never about safety. Licensing is always about New York State's plan. I don't know if you know this one. Our plan in New York State is to create a 5-person, I'm not joking, cannabis control board.
I hate government.
Yes, that is the
I
goal.
just really do.
Because we have to. What would happen with cannabis if we didn't have a 5-person cannabis control board? I mean, people might smoke it or something.
I know it's
crazy.
The biggest hypocrisy is like everyone in government talking about the cannabis control board smokes weed or smoked weed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this fake like it's real theater. It really is
I'm
theater.
actually go worse. They don't. They snort Adderall.
Which is worse. For
yes,
sure.
That's correct.
For sure.
Yes,
Worse.
they actually don't. They actually don't smoke weed. They actually have more rich. They have wealthier people drugs. They're snorting cocaine or Adderall.
I always I smoke weed and occasionally I'll take the occasional mushroom. I'll do like hallucinogens and stuff like that. And this is my favorite person I love talking to. My favorite hypocrite is a friend of mine, father. They were a cop for like a long time. And he is older now, but severely out of shape. And like, and he's like, oh, weed's like, evil. And we used to always arrest people for weed. As he, not kidding, is way overweight, has diabetes, is drinking scotch, and is eating a plate of macaroni and cheese. And I'm like, that's fine though, right?
Right, yes.
But I'm 160 pounds, but that's fine. Like, that's fine. You're doing all those vices, which are, by the way, medically proven to be worse than like weed's not even bad.
Close. Yes,
like,
not even close.
That's the other weird. That's the not weird thing. That's the other annoying part about weed is like since it's still a Schedule I drug federally, so people can't even medically do tests on it because they're not allowed to. You have to be like specially licensed to do tests. It's like, of course you do.
Of course you do. Yes. Look, what you always have to remember is government is very much like the mob. It's very much, they're very close. The facade is very different, right? The mob will just say, hey, did your capo say you could do this? That's what the mob says.
Right.
But what the government says is, where's your license? But it's the same thing and the same outcome. Well, nothing could fall here. I can't get my beak wet. If someone beaks doesn't get wet, then we got a problem.
I could actually argue the mob does more good. I absolutely could argue the mob, they kept neighborhoods safe. They ran the casinos better than they do now. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. That's good.
But yes, all right. So also, my favorite part about the Biden administration, it just came out that they are firing staffers for weed smoking.
I thought they were putting suspending them or something.
Whatever. It's like I thought we're really doing that like that. I mean, like we're just. It's like then you remember
Kamala Harris ruined people's lives over this,
and then you go, oh right, who's their VP? Oh yeah, a woman who literally ruined people's lives over weed. It's like it's like of course they're doing that.
Yes, Joe Biden wrote the law and Kamala enforced it.
Of course, exactly. Yeah. It's like. But it's like because of course even I will get stuck up. I'll get stuck up in it too for the zeitgeist for a second when you just hear the D in front of the name. And you're like, why do they care about weed? Like, oh, right, because they're assholes too. Like, what am I talking about? And then I like smack myself out of it. Like, oh yeah, what am I doing?
Well, no, let's go back to what you just said. How do you get cannabis off of Schedule I? It's grossly simple. The president says so.
Of course.
That's how you do it. So,
right, and Trump could have done it, and that's always what I say to the fucking idiots on the fucking my dumb conservative friends.
Obama didn't do it, and Obama was talking about how he used to smoke weed as a kid.
Well, you used to do coke, right?
Yes, he said it. Yeah.
So who hasn't? I get it.
Bush
my
didn't
throat.
do it.
That's why I stopped.
And Bush used to do coke, and Bush didn't do it. Clinton didn't do it, and Clinton used to smoke weed. Like none of them did it. The only person I get who probably didn't do weed and wouldn't want it. Okay, Reagan and the first Bush. They were very square. They probably didn't.
Right.
But once you get past the first Bush, every president has smoked weed.
Yeah, exact. Oh yeah,
or done coke.
They're doing lines. It's fucking smoking weed. Who the fuck knows what pills they're taking? I mean, which is it's chemicals. You're putting straight chemicals into your body, which is way worse than a flower. Yep. It's again. I smoke every day, which may not be a great example of maybe I'm not the best example. But my point is, I'm mildly successful.
Right. So, and you're also not sitting there 400 pounds and eating bowls of mac and cheese.
Exactly. Like you know what I made before I came here? I made some eggs with some cut up peppers and some long hots. That's a goddamn healthy meal. And I was smoking weed while making it. So, you know what I'm saying? All right. So Cuomo though, is he? Because the story was hot last week when we talked. It was hot, and now it's like
And I told you last week he wasn't going anywhere.
Right. No, and I said I agree with you. I said he's not. But part of me, small hope is like, well, the sexual stuff at least, because it's the age of that. But then it's like, well, it's their own, so they won't attack it as hard.
No,
so,
look,
so
what I tell everybody the same thing is I ran against Cuomo. I watched his machine. I spoke to people who are part of his machine. I spoke to people who are Democrats, and they all fear him.
He's a bully.
They all fear him. Yes, he's a bully. He's powerful. He is savvy. He is smart. He is all the things that you and worse off. I wouldn't say smart. Sorry. He's savvy and he's ruthless. And when I say ruthless, he is like a mob boss. I think I told you the story once before. When I was crossing the state, I met many politicians and many people who were, in office. And one mayor of a city once told me, he said, Larry, Cuomo is like when the henchman becomes the boss. That's what it's like. And I've told that analogy to many people, and probably a dozen or more who are all, in government or around government. And no one disagreed.
So his own party people fear him, is what you're saying.
And that guy was a Democrat.
Right.
Correct. That guy wasn't. Look, if Republicans hate him, I get it. They're supposed to.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They're supposed to. These were Democrats who were like, no, I'm scared of this guy. Which is why you notice it finally took, once one person came out, then a bunch of them came out against him.
Right.
And when they came out against him and he didn't fall and he withstood the massive assault, you know what they did? They shut up. Because they realized it can't work. And now they're rethinking. Yes, now they're rethinking. They're thinking, we've just made him an enemy. And he doesn't forgive.
And, well, they also it's their own fault. They built him up to be some fucking hero. So it's like you built him up to be the golden calf god, and now it's like he's evil. It's like yeah. He was never actually a generous god. Right.
He was not one. Right. Yes, absolutely. No.
I mean, when AOC is coming after you in your own party,
now they're quiet for now, right? Because they don't know. Then now I'm telling you what's happening right. They're regrouping. They're saying, "Holy crap, he didn't fall. Now what? He is going to counterattack. He's going to want to punish us because that's who he is. And now we have to worry. He's going to take away our money, which is what he does, right? That's why even the Cannabis Control Board thing, all that appoints 3 of them. I'm not joking.
Well, you cut off. So you said Cuomo appoints 3 out of the 5 people? Interesting.
Yes.
So he's in charge of 3.
Control all the tax revenue.
Right. So he could just appoint 3 of his boys or girls, essentially, and be like, you're just going to do what I want.
Yes.
Right, because I have the majority vote all the time. No, it's like that UN thing where it's like it's always the United States and England and like no one else can get in there and like the Security Council and stuff. So it's kind of like the same thing.
So how do you feel if you're a, say, Republican or Democrat, county executive, and you've got unfunded mandates you got to pay for, you got people who are in trouble, and now all of a sudden the Biden bucks come down, and who's in charge of that? Well, it's Cuomo. And now the cannabis revenue comes out. It's tens of billions of dollars. Who's in charge of that? Cuomo. And now he says, well, no, I'm not giving your county any of that money. Well, you're in trouble now.
Right. Wolf did that here to some places. He threatened to withhold funding some counties over some bullshit stuff. I forgot exactly. It was like a year ago, so I forgot exactly what. But yeah, that happens all the time. Which, again, it's like, this is why when everything's jumbled together, you're able to do that, right? So like that's why like a lot of Republican states I know folded to the Biden already and everyone's like, well, why? It's like, well, because he just threatened to withhold millions of dollars of money from them.
They want the Biden bucks.
So what are they supposed to do? It's like they're gonna
Uncle
fold.
Joe's writing checks.
Right.
What are you gonna do? You got to be good. And that's the problem that we have. That's why I'm always about localism, right? The less money that goes to the state capital, the less power the state capital has over you. The less money that goes to D.C., the less power D.C. has over you. And that's the entire point I'm trying to make. Localization to the best of our ability means we have the least amount of power over us, right? Someone's always going to have some power over us. That's kind of how it works. I get it. But I want the least possible. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's a good, because everyone's like, it was like, oh, with the libertarians, what would they do? Just abolish government if they got into press? It's like, well, no, it would be impossible. Like right? It'd be impossible. Like even if a libertarian won presidency, it's not like he would just be like, all right, great, this is all over now. It's like that's it.
Exactly.
That can't happen. Like,
it was fun, guys. I'm out.
Right? Like it's not how it would work. It's just the whole point is just to limit it so where it's not affecting everyone so drastically. That's the point, because I understand the only place you can really get rid of government is on a local level, really, and like a real local level, like real local. Yes. Outside of that, you really can't get rid of it. It's impossible. It's just impossible. But what we could do is try to limit the effects of it, and that's what we try to battle for.
100%. Look, we are still on the road to oligarchy or dictatorship. That's the road we're walking down right now.
Right.
I just want to turn us around and face freedom.
Right.
Just be in a direction of freedom. We're literally walking down the road to dictatorship. That's what we're walking, or oligarchy, depending on how you want to look at it. But that's where we're walking down the road. Now, some people want to take the socialism route. Some people want to take the fascism route. Some people want to take the strongman route. It doesn't matter. They all go to the same place. They all lead to dictatorship. It doesn't matter which road you take. I mean, some sound nicer. The socialism road sounds the nicest. Like, it's the most beautiful view, right? So it looks nice as you're walking in your way to the gulag, right? But you're still going to a gulag, right? So the end game is gulag. The socialist way looks nicer as you walk down this. You get some views. You get some trees. The fascist way doesn't look so good, but it's still going to the same spot.
It's a bus is going to the same place.
It is. Absolutely.
You're right. It doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's scary. Like when you see, like, again, after the whole GameStop thing and the whole Wall Street thing and the Reddit bets,
Yep.
The Reddit bet, and not Reddit bets, and the Reddit Wall Street bets. Thank you. And all that. And how you just saw people being like, "Oh, we're actually gonna fuck them," and they were like, "Actually, you're not."
You're not. No. And I told everybody this when it first happened, and nobody believed me. I said, whatever they're doing, it doesn't matter. Right. You will find within 3 months it will be illegal.
Right.
Guaranteed. It doesn't matter what it is.
I missed out on the GameStop spike. I made out on the AMC hit a little bit. I made a few hundred off that. But it's really crazy when you just saw, like, them literally in real time. Just, I mean, there's no other way to say it besides, like, you guys can't win. That's how that was pretty much, and there's really no other way to say it, because that's what happened.
Yes.
Like, that's exactly what happened. They were like, hold on. No, we do that. That's what.
Yes.
It's wild when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because that's all it was.
You don't get to game the system.
Right.
We get to game the system.
Right.
Exactly. You don't get to do that. No, but this is why I've said more than once. All of the entire stock market, it is a casino.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about that. What I'm mad about is we pretend that it's not.
Well, I
just
don't think...
accept it's a casino. If you're really good at this, then it's like going to play blackjack or poker. You have a good chance of winning. You know who you're talking to, whatever. If you don't know what you're doing, then it's basically slots, right? Or roulette. So, but it's still a casino.
Well, here's the thing. I think, like, people like you and I know that, and like I'm in the stock game. Like, I have stocks and stuff like that.
But you're thinking, so you're playing poker,
that's what I'm saying.
Or you're playing blackjack. You're not playing roulette.
Exactly. I'm also a gambler. So, like, I am in the casinos playing blackjack and poker and shit.
Absolutely.
So, like, I get it. But I hate when you talk to, like, Wall Street people and like, it's not a casino. It's like real. I go, no, it's not. Shut up. It's not real. This isn't real. Like, stop acting like what you do is real. It's not. Yep. You just made it more so than I did. Like, that's it.
Yep.
Like, you took some classes. You talked to some people who know what they're talking about more than I do. You maybe took your Series 7 and all that shit. That's it. But it's a fucking casino. Stop acting like it's fucking
And they wear really nice suits, too.
Right.
I mean, they do wear nice suits.
You know what? I'll wear my fucking... I don't even know what this is. What I'm wearing right now. I'll wear this jean jacket and my Mises Caucus shirt. And I'll still rock my fucking Tesla stock.
No, I think you're totally right. And what I've been saying is, if they really want to make it fair, then the SEC should not be running this. The SEC is the Praetorian Guard for the elite, right? They're not actually helping anybody except the elites. Instead, run it by a gaming commission. I'm serious.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
Be run by a gaming commission. And it's to be fair, and at least you know what would have to happen? You'd have to actually have some data with actuaries who would show your actual odds of victory.
Right, because
just like you
casinos,
do in a casino,
where they have to show slot machine payouts and all that shit.
That's correct. So you would show what are the odds of you winning. Now, obviously, in games like, as you know, games like blackjack and poker, your odds are increased by your skill set, right? Still a chance you get screwed, but the odds increase by your skill set. And the same thing when it comes to stocks. You still might get screwed, but the odds are increased by your skill set.
Right.
So why not just be honest and say the odds of you winning are X. Here's our data from the past 5 years as an example. But if you're a skilled investor, the odds go up. If you're not, the odds go down. But here's the baseline right here. At least now I get it. Would I want to put my mortgage in a casino? Most people would say no. But if you want to put your mortgage in a casino, go ahead. It's your mortgage. Right. But most would not do.
No, exactly. And that's why also it's very interesting when you talk about the crypto stuff and how that's very, and this is very interesting to me. And this is how you could just label a statist is like, if they're anti-crypto, you go, yes. I know you. I fucking know you. All your shit's in fucking bullshit money. I see. You don't want it to go away because it'll fuck you. I get it. Nope. Yes. No. It's like Peter Schiff, right? He's a big anti-Bitcoin guy, and it's like, yeah, because all of you are so invested into old school money and old school stock market. That's a threat. That's the same thing. That's why weed's illegal, by the way. It's a William Randolph Hearst. He was a paper tycoon, and hemp was cheap and easy to make. And he's like, well, it's really expensive for me to switch all my paper factories to hemp factories. So if you smoke weed, it makes blacks and Mexicans rape women.
And there we go. That works.
They were like, we got to make this illegal. That's why weed's illegal. That's true. That's the origin of why weed's illegal. And it's the same thing with Bitcoin. Except not to that extreme, but it's like, I
don't think Bitcoin makes black and Mexican people rape people. I don't think it does.
No.
I don't think it does.
But it's the same thing.
I hope not, at least.
I mean, I have it, and so far, I can assure you I've raped 0 people. So
Me too.
So we're crushing that. So
we're good so far. All right.
But it's the same thing of like, oh, this is a threat to my function. This is a threat to my money. So I'm going to just throw all my eggs into that it's evil basket, and you guys are stupid for doing it. So they'll try to make you feel like an idiot but they're like, it's nothing. And they're like, well, yeah, but you have nothing either. And they're like, yeah. It's like, that's their defense. It's like, well, there's gold. They go, gold's nothing either because, like, we don't have gold. I always tell this story. I'm sure you know this. In the 70s, Congress demanded an audit for Fort Knox. And then they said no. They just told Congress no. And then they still forced it. So they're like, fine. We'll let you in, but we're only going to show you what we want to show you, and you have to leave. You can't leave. Sir. And they filmed it, and they walked in. They opened up, I'm not kidding, like a door, and they're like, look, there's gold here. And they shut the door, and they're like, we see more. They're like, nope. And they pushed them out. That really happened. You could look this up. Like, this is on YouTube somewhere probably. It was the 70s. There's no gold in that place. Like, there's probably this much an ounce of gold in Fort Knox.
Gold is actually in New York City.
Right, yeah.
The gold's actually in New York City. It is. The gold's actually in New York City.
Right. It's mostly there.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant because our money isn't backed by gold.
Exactly. It's backed by nothing.
So who cares? It sounds nice. I mean, I like that it's there. It feels good. But our money is backed by Marines and submarines and bombs. That's what our money's backed by, right?
Yeah.
And our nuclear weapons, our nuclear umbrellas, safety shield, right? Oh, Germany, you don't want to have to spend billions on nuclear weapons. Japan, you don't. Then let's make sure that our dollar stays the same. Right. Let's make sure our dollar is valuable.
Right.
And we'll keep protecting you.
And the excuse we use is like, oh, we want them to act up again. Like, yeah, they're going to act up again. Shut the fuck up. Like, we're so fucking stupid that we think Japan's going to be like, quick, they're not looking. Hit Pearl Harbor again.
Take the Philippines, quick.
Like, quick. like, they're doing light years better than us. Like, why would they, it's just an excuse. And just like my producer over here, Jesse, says, he's like, the money's backed by nothing. And it's just a barter system. Like, it just comes down to, we could use anything, human beings, as a barter system. So it doesn't really matter if anything's backed by anything. It just comes down to what we find valuable as a species. So like
the reality of it is, and I when I talked about cryptocurrency, when people don't understand what it is, right? What's Bitcoin? I don't get Bitcoin. I will often go back to say, when you were a kid, Did you like something like, did you like comic books? Did you like baseball cards? Did you like, did you like Pokemon cards? Did you like something when you were a kid? And most people go, yeah, I used to like this thing. Okay, great. When I was a kid, I liked comic books. That was my thing. And I would swap and trade comic books all the time. And I would decide, whatever, my Iron Man is worth 2 of your Hulks or whatever. Right. And we go back and forth and we would decide that each one has value. And the value was based upon what you cared about. If you didn't like Iron Man, you didn't think that that was valuable. If you liked the Hulk, you thought that was more valuable. And we agreed upon a trade.
Right.
And done. That's what Bitcoin is. Do we agree that there's a value to it? There is? Then there we go. Let's make that swap. Right. And people say, well, that sounds crazy. It's an agreement. That's also our dollar.
It really is. It's the same fucking thing. Right. It's like
the dollar has value because we agree it has value.
You go, I deem this $100 to be $100 because we deem it to be $100. That's literally the only reason.
Yes. It's no different than us saying, my Hulk #1 is worth $1,000 or whatever it is. I have no idea what that's worth now, but whatever. Same thing.
Well, Hulk 181 is worth a lot of money. It's the first appearance of Wolverine, but that's nerd shit. We'll talk about that later. But
there we go. So my Hulk 181 is valuable. But again, if you took the actual value of the paper in that mag,
2 cents.
It's worth what? 2 cents maybe? Yeah. But we decide that
right.
Hulk 181 is now worth something. So there we go.
Right. And that's why, I was lucky I got into Bitcoin. Like I said, I bought Bitcoin. I bought one Bitcoin when it was $1,100. And I was like, this is a lot of money for something that might be nothing, and now it fucking worked out for me. But
absolutely.
At the time, I was like, fuck it. I was like broke at the time, too. It was just so stupid to me. But I guess not. I guess, it was dumb of me. But
people were trying to get me into Bitcoin when it was like $200.
I know, how dumb.
And I was like, and then my wife was like, that's stupid, and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was fighting me, so I didn't do it. I didn't get to Bitcoin until it was 4 figures, like you. I got into it earlier, but it was 4 figures before I got into it.
Yeah.
I wish I had gotten into it way earlier. I wish I did. I could have got into people talking about, I remember it was like $200 for like or something like that for Bitcoin. I was like, that's forget it, whatever. It can't go up that much. That's what I thought. Wow, right. How wrong was I?
Well, I was also in my 20s, like my early, and I was essentially a dumb person in my 20s. I was essentially just a person.
You mean you were like everybody?
With I'm even dumber. I essentially had the smoothest of brains in my 20s, easily. So like everything I thought was, if I thought it was stupid, I gave it no credit. I was like, it's stupid. I gave it no thought of credit. Immediately shut it off, and I was like, fuck, it's fucking stupid. It's not even real money. Again, once I hit like 28, 29, I started really opening my brain up, doing more mushrooms, but I really started opening my brain up more. I definitely started getting a little more wiser and stuff, and then that's when I was like, you know what? Why do I stop being so close-minded to this shit? It's like, look into what the fuck Bitcoin is. Like read into it. Yeah, and then that's when, you open up more, and that's hopefully shit works out for you a little more.
But you got to remember something. You still have a huge chunk of Americans who think Ulbricht, am I saying his name right? Ulbricht, the guy who started Silk Road?
Ross Ulbricht.
It's Ulbricht. Thank you. Yes,
yeah, Ulbricht.
Yeah. So, who think his sentence of 2 life sentences plus 20 years, whatever it is, totally fine. A lot of Americans are like, yes, that's exactly the right answer. They don't realize
both sides too. Democrats and Republicans are both like, yeah, he deserves it, because there are people who actually have killed people and they're walking around.
Correct.
But he does, I know we talked about this before, but like, for anyone who doesn't know, Ross Ulbricht, he made the Silk Road on the dark web, which was essentially just a black market to do.
It was Amazon on the dark web,
right? And it's very important to make this distinction. He never sold drugs.
Correct.
He wasn't actually selling anything. He just made an avenue, and then the FBI said, "We're gonna skull fuck you."
Yes,
as hard as we can and make an example out of you. And they held his ears and did it.
His crime was sacrilege.
Yeah. You went against the
system.
His
crime was sacrilege. He went against the religion. He went against the mob. He went against, the mafia. He went against the Pope. You can't do that. That's the worst crime of them all. If you murder but still respect the Pope, that's fine. You respect the Pope.
Right.
But when you disrespect the Pope, that's it. You've got to be excommunicated. That's what his crime was.
It's
And
it's just wild how so many people could be actively for supporting a young 27-year-old man whose life is gone.
Yes.
Gone. It's gone. Even if he got out tomorrow, he spent so much time in jail already, his life's over.
Well, no. He's hardcore. If he actually got out tomorrow, if we actually had a president who understood the value of someone like him, they would immediately pardon him. And once you pardon him and get him out, you know the amount of people who will be on top of him to help the next thing?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, my God.
That's true.
He would be a libertarian hero.
Oh, he is already.
He is already. Yes.
It's him and Killdozer and Ron Paul.
and Snowden.
Who?
Snowden too.
Oh, Snowden, yeah.
Yeah, Snowden too. Yes. Snowden too.
They're on the Rushmore of libertarian heroes.
Yes. So I mean, if Snowden comes back now, if they would have pardoned him, he'd be able to do whatever he wants. He'd be a hero.
We know the Biden administration ain't pardoning him because they
no
fought
way.
for the Obama administration, and they went after him.
Of course,
they're the ones who went after him, so they ain't gonna pardon him.
Yep.
Again, same thing with Trump. It's like, hey man, where were you?
Yes, absolutely.
Where were you?
Yeah.
Where was your bastion of freedom, dickhead? You know, it's like
this was my entire point of last year's election. Some people were so mad at me because I wouldn't either go Trump evil or Trump's great. I would not make any comment. Just whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Right.
I voted for Jo Jorgensen.
Same.
Not because I thought she was going to win, or not because she was a good candidate. She was a terrible candidate.
No, we were.
But I still voted for her anyway because
yeah.
because I was hoping for a future. Right. I was hoping that if we had, obviously I was wrong, but I was hoping that if we had enough people voting for Jorgensen, that amount of impact, if we actually were to get 3, 4, 5% of the vote, that our message would be heard better in the future. That was my hope for voting for her. And it clearly didn't work, right? But people said, well, what about the idea that, if you lean right, Trump, he's better than Biden. If you're lean left, Biden's better than Trump. And my point is, it doesn't matter. The things that matter to me most in my life aren't going to change under either of them.
True.
And whatever happens 4 years later, that'll probably go back. So if Biden wins, then the Republicans win next. If Republicans win again, then the Biden win after that. It doesn't really matter. Remember something. From Bush, we got Obama. Obama got us Trump. Trump got us Biden.
Yeah.
Where's the win? I don't see the win.
Right, yeah. Yeah. I do want to talk about that because it's about libertarian issues, and 2A's now in the news again because of that unfortunate shooting in Boulder. And two things I noticed right away. Before an ounce of information came out about this guy, turns out he was a Syrian nationalist, right? I believe
he came from Syria. He was like 2 years old.
Okay,
he was a kid when he came, so he was American, but he's Syrian. His family's Syrian.
Okay, so he was Syrian though, not a white dude. My point.
Well, my point is, when we bomb them, they're brown.
Yes.
When they shoot us, they're white.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's how that works.
This is what I found very interesting about this whole thing. So before an ounce of information came out, all he saw was a helicopter footage of cops dragging this guy out, and Twitter, all the blue check marks. If this was a black guy, but the white guy. And I was like, that guy doesn't look super white. I was like, can we get a fucking second of information out, right? That was the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed was the immediate gun grab, right, for the government.
Of course.
Now, I want to address the first thing real quick. Once it came out that he was a Syrian, well, that agenda real dropped pretty quick about the whole white guy shooting up places agenda. And then, by the way, it fell off Twitter.
No, it came back. Now people are talking about he's white still. That went away and came back.
How?
Well, he's not a black guy, so he's a white guy. Yeah.
This is like the George Zimmerman thing. I was like, he's a fucking not white either. He doesn't have a white guy name. That's not fair.
He doesn't have a white guy name. That's true. But Zimmerman's Hispanic. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's an asshole.
That's
why
true.
are we getting lumped in with this fucking dickhead? We do enough shitty stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to be lumped in with all the shitty stuff. Let us have our own shitty stuff. Other people can do shitty stuff. But yeah.
Let's be equal opportunity shitty stuff people. I agree. Yes.
Could this be a whole thing where this guy was pissed that his home country got bombed again? And
no one's even bringing that up. I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Because that could. By the way, I'm not saying it's what it is because I don't know. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I have no idea. I'm saying though, That sounds like a fucking thing that's happened before in England and stuff.
No, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. He's lonely. The same thing you see in all these shooters. You know what they don't have? A girlfriend. That's what none of them have, is a goddamn girlfriend.
True.
They're
well, they all look like that dude.
Doesn't matter what you look. There's guys who look far worse than him who can get laid.
Yeah,
right?
true. It blows my fucking mind.
That isn't my point. That isn't my point at all. The point is not how he looks. The point is how he feels about himself. People, women, men, whether you're gay, straight, whether you want multiple women or multiple, whatever you are.
True.
People are attracted to confidence.
True.
That's what people are attracted to, period. Whatever is your thing, wherever you want to go, no matter what touch of that. The problem we have is literally incels. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And that was exacerbated by these stupid COVID government lockdowns.
Yeah. Oh,
so now you have someone who has no purpose, who has no community, who is lonely, sitting at home online all day, hearing exactly whatever they want to hear in some echo chamber, and then deciding, I'm going to go out and kill people. That was the guy in Atlanta.
Right.
That was the guy in Colorado. I'm sorry, Georgia and in Colorado.
Right.
They're the same guy. They're the same guy.
Right. The other guy was a religious fucking freak, the white dude.
Who
right.
doesn't have a purpose and doesn't have a girlfriend. Here's what I guarantee you. If either of those guys had good jobs and or girlfriends, neither one of those guys shoots anybody. Period.
For sure.
Done. It's that simple. That's the problem. But we don't want to touch that problem. We want to blame the gun. We want to ban assault weapons. By the way, no assault rifle was used in either of those shootings.
Of course.
Pistols only.
Of course.
Pistols only.
Of course.
So the assault rifle, whatever the thing is banned, doesn't affect this anyway.
Of course.
It's irrelevant.
It's always a push to get the gun. That's all it is. It's always a push. And it's like, I'm for, I mean, we all, well, I'll say it because I know you love everybody. Fucking, I hate Nick Sarwark. So he's always like fucking, he's always like, by the way, can we talk about that fucking little slimy fucking, he lost the New Hampshire treasurer vote to no one.
I know.
And then got cheered, and they cheered when he lost. I just want to throw it out there. But that's what you get when you're a fucking.
I don't hate on Nick. I know people
you don't.
hate on
I
Nick.
do.
I don't hate on Nick. I don't hate on Nick.
He deserves it because he attacks us all the fucking time. He deserves it with what he starts it. How many times have everyone's like, yo, stop attacking Nick, stop attacking Nick, and then Nick will come out and be like, a certain caucus of people, and it's like, all right, well now we're gonna fucking slam you fucking asshole. It's like he deserves it. He did. We let Dave Smith many times has been like, stop trashing Nick, and then we're like, all right, and then he comes out and says something else, and we're like, well, we can't, and like,
no. Look, I hear you, and there is a desperation, and this is we as a party have fallen into a bad place.
Yeah, no,
and if you look at where we were last year, and people don't understand what I think is it. The answer, in my view, is actually grossly simple. Last year, we started to have a left-right fracture.
Yeah.
Harder than we've ever had.
Big.
So the left part of the party and the right part of the party wouldn't vote for each other, talk to each other.
Yeah.
So you got one guy on the left, one guy on the right. They won't vote for each other, not realizing that in our party, coalition building is how it works.
Literally how it works.
I know. I almost beat Bill Weld in 2016 by building a coalition. Yeah. That's why I lost by 31 votes. Not that I'm counting. I'm not counting. Adam, you're counting. Stop. Anyway, so I lost by 31 votes, but who's counting? But anyway, but I almost beat a former governor.
Yeah.
Because I built a coalition. We didn't do that. What does that mean? We got our second choice. We got everybody's second choice, which was Jo Jorgensen. Right. That's why we got her, because the two first choices would fought each other and simply wouldn't agree. Now, why did it happen? Here's one of the reasons why that happens. It's because the party tends to be anti-establishment. So whoever's in power tends to be the opposite of what we're against, what we stand for.
Right, you're right.
Trump was president. The right was in charge. The party began to lean left, and people saw it. And the right people got mad. Thought, oh, my God, the commies are taking over. They weren't taking over. How do you know that? They're not recruiting very well now.
Right.
They were never taking over. That was an irrational fear because the party was moving left because Trump was president.
Now it's going the other way.
Now Biden's president. And you can see the party already moving right.
Oh, yeah.
You already see it.
Yeah.
That's a natural thing.
Yeah.
My worry is people are always worried about, the party's going to be taken over. It's not. Here's what's going to happen. It's what happened last year. If you saw it the last couple of years, a bunch of people from the left came into the party. Some of them are actually libertarians, and they stayed.
Yeah.
Some really weren't. They wanted to make a better Democratic Party because they were afraid of Trump.
Right.
And those people left. The same thing will happen now. A bunch of people from the right will come in. And some are actual libertarians and they'll stay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And some just want to make a Republican light party because they're anti-Trump.
Right.
And those people will eventually leave. Yeah, they'll just leave. I'm fine bringing them in. Most will leave. Some will stay.
Yeah.
I'll take whatever I can get. That's the reality of what I believe our party is. I look at my own state party. My state is a blue state. Yeah. My Libertarian Party leans right. But you go to Oklahoma, it's a red state. Libertarian Party leans left.
Well, see, I mean, from what I could tell right now, the LP party in PA is still left leaning a little bit. I can't I'll say this much. The Bucks County LP in PA is for sure left leaning.
But Bucks County's a red county.
It's not.
Really? Last time I was in
blue
Bucks County, it was a red county.
It went blue in 2016 and 20.
Okay. So for me, it's no. I haven't been in Bucks County since 2000.
Yeah. So it's that makes sense. It probably was red. I mean, I was still a New Yorker back then, but yeah, from what I talked to my wife and stuff, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. But now in the Bucks County, I'm noting a lot of the Mises guys are like slowly coming in that, and like there's more of us than them now. So you are right. I do see that pattern.
It tends to happen. It's not a 100% rule. It really isn't a 100% rule, but it's a good 70% rule, 80% rule. Generally, you'll see it happen often. Where we tend to be against the people who are oppressing us.
Yeah.
So we tend to lean the opposite of them. It doesn't mean that we become the opposite, but that's where the leaning goes. You are always going to find left and right-leaning libertarians as a general rule. Again, a good general rule. You know if someone's a left-leaning libertarian if they focus on social issues, and they're right-leaning libertarian if they focus on economic issues. Generally speaking.
Interesting.
Right? Again, it's a general rule. If you focus on economics, you're probably a right-leaning libertarian. If you focus on social issues, you're probably a left-leaning libertarian.
See, that's interesting because, like, obviously I'm a Mises Caucus guy, so I guess I would be a right-leaning libertarian. But like when you say that, it's like I don't know, because like I associate other things with them. I'm like, yeah, but I don't agree with that either. You know what I'm saying? It's like
no. It doesn't mean you only. It means where do you focus?
Yeah, no, I know. No, even when I take those charts, I fall like to the Friedman side of like the economic libertarian side all the time. I always follow that side. I always do because again, it's not like I don't. Of course, I care about like rights and all that stuff, but I'm like but the bigger issue to me is like the government fucks up rights. So if we get rid of that, that will be easier. And that's always what I try to. That's why I think my brain goes to all the fucking time.
Yes.
Because I'm like, no, it's the fucking money and the fact that they're always getting involved in shit that shouldn't be. It's making the socialness harder between us because of them. And if we get rid of that, this is easier. Stop focusing on that. That's what I think I do in my brain.
No, but you just did it right? It doesn't mean that a right libertarian doesn't care about social issues. Of course they do. But most right-leaning libertarians think that the economic pieces is how you make the social stuff better.
That's exactly what I think. That's exactly. Yes. That's why it makes sense. That's why every single fucking chart, I'm like, oh, right, economic libertarian, economic libertarian, all the fucking time. Yeah,
it's very common. Again, not 100% rule, but it's a good general. And the left tends to go, no, social first, and the rest will come.
Right.
But we tend to agree overall that government bad, monopoly bad, right control bad. It's just where do we focus? That's why you rarely see me debate. I just don't debate libertarians because the reality of it is we almost always agree on 80 to 90% of what we're talking about. Am I going to fight to the death over 5% of something? I'm just not going to do it.
No, we're the worst. We're the worst with each other. Like one of my favorite memes, I saved it in my phone because it's really funny, and it's a scene from Futurama, and It's Professor Farnsworth, and it's him and a bunch of other scientists, like this big science meeting, and it's just two clips of it's just two parts of a meme. It's one. The first picture is him yelling at the other scientist, going, "Don't listen to that crackpot, he's crazy," and the other scientist yelling back, "But I'm agreeing with you." And on top of it is libertarians arguing with libertarians.
Yes,
and like that is exactly us. It's like,
yes.
It's like, yeah, it's like, that's you're a fucking Nazi. It's like you're a fucking commie. It's like, we're arguing over the same we're agreeing with the same exact thing though. It's like,
yes.
But we're just calling each other fucking Nazis and commies.
Yes.
But we're agreeing. It's fucking so stupid.
Well, it's like we're mad because, how fast do you want to dismantle the Fed? I want to dismantle it in 6 months. You want to dismantle it in 9 months. You're evil. What?
Yeah. Yeah,
we're both saying we're going in the same direction. You want to go 9 months, I want to go 6, and now I'm evil?
Yeah.
And that's where we wind up doing. So you rarely see me debate a libertarian. It's very rare that I do that.
I almost feel like we
I
do
also,
that.
I won't hate other people.
No, I know you don't.
One of the reasons why so many caucuses don't like me is because I won't hate the other.
I know, it's stupid
They
though.
really want me to hate the other,
stupid.
and I won't do it.
No one should make
so
you do that.
I rarely get supported by any of the caucuses because I won't hate.
It's not like I say hate a lot, but like I don't really hate people. It's just a word. But like no, Starwalk, like he is a fucking asshole. Like I don't hate him, but I don't like him. Like I do think he's an asshole. I don't like the guy. I don't think he's good for the party. I don't think he's good for the cause. That is true. I don't hate him, but like
But let me try to defend some of the people on the left who get mad at the Mises Caucus. Let me defend a little bit, and I will. I'm gonna try to defend them a little bit. And the reason, and don't get me wrong, they crap on me all the time because I talk to Heist and I'm on. And I'm on the.
By the way, I defend you so much on Twitter on that shit. Just for the record.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, they shit on me all the time. I know they do. But I don't think that most of them actually have bad intentions for the party. They actually are afraid that too many alt-righters will come into the party and that it will scar us for the future. And I get why they mean that, because I felt some of it too. A lot of people who are on the left, not in our party, meaning outside,
right.
Democrat, progressive, they believe that libertarians are just hardcore Republicans, hardcore conservatives.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's not accurate.
It's not accurate at all.
But they believe that. So the people on the left are worried that if we bring too many alt-righters in, or anyone who is right, that we're going to perpetuate that stereotype, and that will hurt the party. That is where their heads are. And I said, okay. And I tell them this, okay, if you believe that, maybe you're right. Here's my response. Then out-recruit them.
Right.
If you think that the Mises Caucus is so evil and so bad, and they're going to destroy our reputation for the next 20 years, okay, yelling at them is not helpful. Calling them names is not helpful. Chopping us up in half is not helpful, so we're going to get another boring presidential campaign next time. But a better answer is out-recruit them. How about that? Go out there and bring the left in. And what I constantly hear is, well, we can't do that. Yeah, but then they're doing their job. You do yours.
You know what I hate? I hate lie. It's just they lie. It's just straight lie. Like, because I know I'm friends with a lot of Mises Caucus guys. You know who we all shit on just as much as we do the left? Alt-right guys. Like, none of us like them. Like, this fucking lie that's going around that, like, yeah, you might get a few alt-right guys in Mises Caucus. You have a few fucking far-left, crazy left people on the fucking left side of the Libertarian Party, too. No one's saying shit about them,
100%.
and they're just as fucking bad. But, like, every person I know who's in the Mises Caucus, like, everyone, they're like, fuck those guys. Like, they're not helping. They're hurting us just as much as anybody else is, and they're fucking evil. Get them the fuck out of here. Everyone I talk to. Every single fucking person. So I hate the fucking that they just get to throw that lie out there without fucking evidence. Just go, they have a lot of alt-righters, and we fucking hate them. What are you talking about?
How many times have you seen people blatantly lie about me online?
All
the time.
That's why I'm constantly getting in fights online.
All the time. And it is what it is. All the time. I've literally been called a white supremacist more than once.
Yeah, I know. It's...
Yes. Yeah. Me.
If anybody doesn't know, you're black.
Yes, that's correct. I then figured it out. I'm black. Yes, I know.
It's important
and if you look
to know
at the media, whenever I get media, it's always Larry Sharpe, African American this, Larry Sharpe, black businessman. That's on that's on my Wikipedia page. I mean, everywhere. My blackness is out there everywhere.
I mean, listen, even to bring it to comedy real quick, like, I'm fans like Legion of Skanks guys and all that stuff, and obviously I'm with Gas Digital and all, and I'm friends with a lot of those guys and stuff like that, and it's funny. It's like every time you see some comedy blogger calling them racist, it's like racist podcast comedy owner Luis J. Gomez. It's like, really, what are we doing here? White supremacist Luis J. Gomez and Jay Okerson and Dave Smith, the Jews. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we do? You're just saying words just to say words. They mean nothing. They mean nothing. It's like you're diminishing actual evil and actual fucking violence by calling Luis J. Gomez a white supremacist podcast owner.
And my point is, if you're going to take the time and energy to do that, okay, take that same time and energy and recruit.
Right.
Take that same time and energy and recruit. If the Mises Caucus is so bad, okay, they're bad, horrible people. I got you. Great. Then go recruit more people. Stop trying to stunt our growth or hurt the people. Recruit more people over then. Or better, join the caucus and change it.
Yeah. Oh, another lie another lie just got thrown my way was we have no women in the Mises Caucus. I was like, there's none women in the Mises Caucus. What are you talking about?
I literally got a phone call from one of them yesterday.
I know, literally. It's crazy.
Yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. It's just lies with zero. But like, this is stuff you could just, with one Google search, look up, and they won't. They'll just go, you guys are just a bunch of dudes. And it's like, well, in my group chat on Facebook alone, there's like, out of 30 of us, there's like fucking 12 women. Yep. So it's almost half.
Yes.
So sorry, it's not half. Like, I'm sorry, but there's 12 out of 30 is fucking chicks. So
that's
not
good. I would love to have 12. I would love to have 12 out of 30 in everything we do. If we had 40% women everywhere we went, we'd be rocking and rolling.
So it's just what I'm saying. It's just these unfucking precedented lies that get thrown around. But again, I want to bring it back to you. I know I asked you last time, but your plans for running again, or even running for, again, vice president of the Libertarian Party again, or even running for, whatever in the LP, anything in the LP, or just New York, or like, what are your plans for the next 4 to 6 years?
People always ask me, Larry, why don't you run for something local, or why don't you run for senator, or why don't you run for congressman, or whatever. Those don't attract me at all. I don't want to run to win. Doesn't matter, right? Oh, I won something. I want to be able to make impact. I already have a job, and I already work and I already make money. In fact, if I got a job as like a local assemblyman, I'd probably make less money. Like, I'd work harder and make less money. So why would I do that, right? Plus, then I'll have some voting record that they'll use against me, so I can never do anything ever again, because they'll do shitty bills and make me vote one way or the other, so they keep me in vote hostage. So why would I do that? Plus, I'm an executive. That's who I am. That's what I do. So I'd only run for probably an executive position, which is why I would consider running for governor again. I know New York very well. I still travel it every year. So I would consider, doing that again for New York, and I'll make a decision when I come back from Freedom Fest. I'm doing Freedom Fest in South Dakota in July, and I'll come back. So I'll announce one way or the other in August.
Yeah, I want to go to that, because a lot of people are going to that. But
yes, if I run out, I'll do that. If I run for governor, then I'll announce and I'll start rocking and rolling. If I don't run for governor, I'll say who I think should be the nominee, and I'll support that person. If I don't run for governor, I am still open. Whether I run or not for governor, I'm still open to the idea of being the VP in 2024. The only way I'd run for president in 2024 is if I happen to be the most popular libertarian out there, and I doubt that's going to be true. I think they're going to be much more powerful and aggressive and viable candidates for us.
I don't know. I think you're being very humble. You are one of the most well-respected libertarians I know of, easily.
Within the party, that's true. I'm talking outside the party.
Yeah, but no one respects us outside the party.
Well, no, but you have people, for example, someone like Justin Amash, who is more well known. If he stays in the party, he can raise more money than I can raise. Sure. He has more gravitas than I have outside the party. So I'm not concerned about getting libertarians to vote for us. I want non-libertarians to vote for us.
Right.
So I want a presidential candidate that could make that happen and make impact. If someone like him or anybody else who I would hope join soon, not join 3 months before the convention and try to become our president nominee, but hopefully join soon and become more libertarian, I'd be happy to get behind that person as a VP slot. Happy to.
Are you interested in, running into anything like the Libertarian Party itself, like any position in the Libertarian Party, like fucking Attorney General, Treasurer, any of that stuff, like, like chair?
No, I would only run for chair if I thought I could, if I had enough passive income to where I could do it full time. Because the problem is, the chair is to do the chair well, it's a full-time job.
Oh yeah, well that's Michael Heiss's whole thing.
Yes, it's a full-time job. And so I'd have to be able to make enough money, passive income, to keep my family, fed while I would do that. And right now I have to still work for a living right now, if that makes any sense. Right? I've got to work for a living to make cash. If I had enough passive income, I would do it. If that came with a salary, I would do it. Right. Or if I could legally raise money from it and take a cut, that's not legal. I can't do that. But if I could do that, then I would do it. Right. But there has to be a way that I could, do it full time. Otherwise, it's not about my personal view on the national chair and the whole national party right now. Just get us 50 state ballot access every 4 years and I'm happy.
Right.
The rest, I don't really care. I don't care what else you do. Just get us ballot access. That's what you're good
fair.
at. Please keep doing that. The rest, I don't care. But if we had a full-time chair, then we'd be on TV. Then we'd be doing this stuff. Then we'd be having impact. But we don't have.
Man, I think you'd be great at that too. See, that's what I'm saying. Sarwalk wasn't for so goddamn long, and you could do it, and you'd be so much better than him.
I would do it. I would if I. But again, I have a family.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard, and that's why I thought the other thing. It's unfair
I don't understand
too.
why people are mad at Heiss. Heiss is doing the right thing. And he's doing it openly. I'm not mad. People like he's just trying to make money from it. Yes.
And
so he can do it full time.
Right, and that's the annoying. That's again part of it goes back to the lies, and that's why I was saying that we had a guy who's part of the Bucks County Libertarian Party kind of pop off on Facebook a month ago about Austin and Michael Heiss, and I was like, hey man, do you think I'm not going to address that next meeting? Like I'm totally going to call you out, dude. Like he just straight up lied. He was just like, Michael Heiss is stealing money from them. Like, well, we know where it goes because we see it.
Yes.
So, no, he's not.
Right.
And then, you're just lying. That's what I'm saying. And I know you, so I'm gonna fucking call you out.
Yes.
I don't get a
walk
away with that one, dude.
Mad at all about this, right? What I say all the time is people get upset with me and they go, Larry, the Mises Caucus is growing and getting strong. I'm like, I know, copy them.
Yeah.
Copy them. Stop being mad at them. Copy them.
It's like
what? Yeah.
It goes back to beat speech with better speech. Well, if we're so bad, then beat us. Then if our ideas are so bad in Libertarian Party, if our Libertarian ideas are so bad, then why aren't you bigger in the party? Why aren't you making more waves? Why aren't you guys getting more more podcasts, on more coverage? Why am I seeing fucking Dave Smith, you, fucking Tom Woods, Scott Horton, P. Quinones, at a much lesser degree myself on all these podcasts, spreading the word, and not fucking all these other lefty libertarians or even middle road libertarians who are just talking shit, or even other right-leaning libertarians who are talking shit. Well, where are you guys then?
I'm with you. I'm just saying copy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would love if there was a battle to see who could fill our coffers more. What a great battle that would be. Could you imagine if we had 3 or 4 PACs within our party that actually raised money and had full-time chairs, full-time executive directors?
That's what makes it unfair for the other two fucking parties.
That'd be amazing.
Is they just get to do that all the time.
Yes.
With tax dollar money also, probably, I'm assuming, right? You would know more than that than I do. Okay.
Yep.
So good. All right, good. That and privately raise money, right?
Yes.
So they're having a full-time, probably high salary position between tax and private income.
The DNC chair or RNC chair, they all make 6 figures. They make 6 figures.
That's a fucking.
Of course.
Anybody, hey Jess,
It's
you
a
could,
full-time job.
You're for money out of politics, right? Yeah. Good. My producer, he's a. What would you consider yourself?
Probably left leaning.
Yeah, right.
Bernie
He's
supporter.
a Bernie guy. Okay, there you go. Everyone could agree. We fucking all want money out of politics.
Correct.
And if you say otherwise, you're fucking statist.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Otherwise, you're a
it doesn't
fucking
matter
statist.
left or right. You don't want money running the
Exactly.
show.
Exactly. Everybody. That's what I'm
totally
saying. That's why I like having him here.
Yes.
Get rid of Citizens United. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but we gotta figure a way.
No, he's right. That's definitely a problem.
No, yeah,
right?
sure.
That's one of the biggest issues.
But
100%.
But you're also how do we do it?
Yeah.
You do it by attacking the concept of personhood. That's how you do it. Right? In reality, the way you do it is by attacking the concept of personhood. The idea that is a entity a person. If you say yes, great. Then guess what? You can't audit a company because a company then is a person, therefore it has Fifth Amendment rights.
Right.
It doesn't have to discriminate. It doesn't have to, say anything that might incriminate itself. It doesn't have to do that. So not just that, it has Second Amendment rights. That means it can own guns.
Right.
It has First Amendment rights. It can vote. It can do all those things. So the idea is you challenge what it means to be a person. If you challenge it effectively, you make an entity not a person. And once it's not a person, it doesn't get free speech. So they've given it free speech and nothing else. It is now an improved person. It's a sociopathic citizen. That's a problem.
Interesting.
That's how you fix it.
Okay, that's interesting. That's fucking so hard though.
It is.
When you have all the powers to be stopping it, if you try to.
But if you had, which is why I like the idea of being an executive. If you have an executive, you can literally create executive orders that will be challenged on purpose by the court, so they must deal with it.
Right.
So if I'm the governor, I can make an executive order. In New York State, corporations are not people. That's blatantly unconstitutional. I know it is. So you have to break it down. So now I have to have the argument. So I create the argument because I'm an executive. Now people hear it. Now it becomes an argument. That's why an executive is so important. Executives have to stand up for these things. Imagine if President Biden said, corporations aren't people, that's stupid. I'm making an executive order saying that's not true. It would have to go through the courts.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
That's how you challenge it. You can't challenge it saying the courts were wrong. That doesn't work. Your producer's correct. That does not work. But if you say this thing is a thing that must be challenged, and if the Supreme Court doesn't see it, then it's just right.
It's kind of fascinating.
Yes.
And wild.
That's why I always talk about being an executive. A congressman isn't going to do it. An executive can.
Okay.
That's how you fix it. So it is fixable. You know me by now, Adam. When there's a problem, I already got a plan for it.
No, I know. You really are
I got a plan for
Johnny on the spot with every question I have. I'm like, how do we do this? And you're like, oh, I got it.
I already got a plan for this stuff. That's the reason why I have the popularity that I have, which obviously isn't great, but within the party it is because I actually have policies. I create policies for everything. I talk about how to fix things. When the left attacks me, I give them a policy. When the right attacks me, I give them a policy. They talk rhetoric, I give policy, and they go, oh, that actually makes sense. Huh.
Yeah, but they don't like that because they just want to talk about emotions and feelings and not actual what could fix things and not fix things.
But what winds up happening is they don't hate me. And if they don't hate me, they might vote for me. And that's what I want. Right? I would love everyone to be libertarian. That'd be amazing.
Right.
But I'll handle them staying independent or Democrat or Republican, but just vote for us once in a while. I'll take that.
Right. I mean, you do see, like, especially this last election, like small, like especially in Pennsylvania. I think some libertarians want some small stuff, but it's like it's just always that, which I guess it's better than nothing, and that's a start, and that's how you fucking start. Like I know a lot of weed deregulations going on around Pennsylvania now from just small small counties and stuff, just from the Mises Caucus, fucking Michael Heiss's thing that he wrote for Norristown. And then you can pretty much just copy and paste what he wrote to his local city council and just fill in your town, and it's kind of like the same thing because it's just laid out there. And
imagine if we had 2 or 3 packs like that.
Yeah,
maybe a right-leaning pack would focus, for example, on more economic issues. Maybe a left-leaning pack focuses more on social issues, and we were able to write those things up, send them out to all the local affiliates, and say, "There's your template. Modify that, send that in to your congressman. Modify that and send that in as an op-ed to your local newspaper. Modify that. That's what the right does. That's what the left does. They do exactly that. We don't. We should be doing that.
I agree.
Yes.
We can end it there. I think that we covered a lot of shit.
There we go.
We
I love
covered
it.
a lot of stuff. Larry, please tell everybody where they can find you and your amazing podcast that I've been on a bunch, and you guys should go watch that.
Absolutely. It's called The Sharpe Way. Just Google The Sharpe Way. It's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's on everything. It's on all the things. The Sharpe Way. It's on almost every night, usually around 7 p.m. It's live. So if you want to, come on board, happy to have you on board, talking about different issues and stuff, reaction videos, interviews, whatever the hell I'm doing nowadays. All good. And that's Sharpe with an E at the end. And the E stands for entertaining.
I can vouch. That is true. Again, he also has a lot of great guests and a lot of other good comics. Like Chrissy Marr has been on your show a bunch and stuff.
Yep.
And like I said, myself, Lou Perez has been on, right? I believe a few
Yep.
times. Yeah, a lot of other great comics. So go check out Larry Sharpe's
Ryan
podcast.
Long's been on too.
Oh yeah, Ryan Long's been on. That's right. A lot of good comics on that show. A lot of other good guests and non-comics too on that Larry has. So go check out his show and all of his stuff. You guys can follow me at Adam Nutter on Twitter and Instagram, at Adam Nutter Comedy on Facebook and TikTok. Again, April 8th, I will be at Nazim's in Egg Harbor Township, Jersey, doing some stand-up. And I think come summertime, we'll be doing way more road gigs with possibly some other great comics that you guys know of. So check me out on my social media for that coming up. And, yeah, that's it. So, guys, tune in for next episode. And thank you, Larry, once again. Oh, you have a Cult of Us hoodie coming in the mail next week. You have a new one.
Oh, excellent. Good. Thank you. It's a dark one, though,
It's
right?
black.
Awesome.
Black
That's
with
the
white
one I want.
lettering.
Love it.
All right, Larry, thank you, sir. And everybody, we will be back next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening. Find Adam on social media, Twitter and IG at Adam Nutter, or Facebook and TikTok at Adam Nutter Comedy. And for podcasts and merch, check out www.droptent.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.